It's been over 2 years since I talked about the YNW Melly case, and the reason for that is because absolutely nothing has been happening until yesterday, since YNW Bortlen would actually take a plea deal, which if you do not know, Bortlen is the co-defendant alongside YNW Melly in this double homicide, which if you don't fully understand the YNW Melly story, I want to say 4 or 5 different videos talking about it, and literally everyone on the internet has been talking about it, so just look up the YNW Melly case and you'll be caught up, and come back to this video because this is the most recent update you're going to get. With all that being said, grab yourself a cup of joe because it's 8 in the morning when I'm making this video, and let's jump right into this video because it's too early for me. My brain is not braining.
All right, so Mr. Henry, it's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A. This is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State prisons. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged at count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State prison. At count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device as charged. That's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State prison. So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? Yes.
Just in case anyone is still confused, pretty much what he's saying is this was before the plea deal. He was looking at life in prison plus life in prison plus life in prison and so on and so on. But this was all before he took the plea deal. We're about to see that right now.
And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number 1, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder counts. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir. So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device?
Just the tampering and the unlawful use.
Just count 1 and count 7.
Correct.
State, you're going to null process count 2 and count 5.
Correct, Your Honor.
As it relates only to Mr. Henry.
Correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second degree felony. The maximum exposure.
It's a third degree, Your Honor.
It's a second as charged, I believe. It's a third except as it relates to a capital case, but I'm happy to
Our
look it up.
state has it as a third, that's what we discussed, so.
Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That was just going to be the maximum time served.
5 years? Is that what you want me to do?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so, sir, as to that count, it's going to be an adjudication of 5 years in Florida State prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other.
This can get extremely confusing, but what he is trying to say is that he is going to be sentenced to 10 years in Florida State Prison, and he is going to serve 6 years probation after the fact. So 10 years Florida State Prison, 6 years probation, which seems like a lot of time, but considering he had multiple life sentences, this is absolutely nothing.
Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea colloquy, whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open plea to me, or you resolve the case by way of a trial, it doesn't matter to me at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case, I have 250 jurors summoned for jury duty starting tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon, because if you wake up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you've changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. All right? If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can accept the deal today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words, because I've given you plenty of time to think about this, talk to your lawyers about it, talk to your family about it. I talked to you about it last week. Kind of looks like your lawyers probably did something or other to get a better disposition for you as of this afternoon, but this is it today. So understanding all that, you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that, that's what you want to do?
You can just tell on his face he does not know how people are going to perceive him after this whole ordeal. He's trying so hard to hide it, but it is just so clear. And you can see exactly what he is going through. He's done faced so many years behind bars. He is just ready to get out, and he's only getting told that he has 10 more years to go, and then follow it up with some probation. Obviously, he's feeling kind of good about himself.
Nothing else, but I think we just have it in the court for you as well.
Okay. So listen, my the fee hearing docket is at 3:30 p.m. So
We've already spoken with BSI, I think we're just in the court, we've been here for about a week.
okay.
We can schedule.
I mean, I was going to make it available if you wanted to do it now.
I think BSI has problems with that.
Okay. So they're in charge.
Just coordinated with us, right?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else from the defense on behalf of Mr. Henry?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but I wish you good luck, sir.
And just like that, Bortlen is completely out of the case. He's been sentenced. It is over. He has 10 years to go, then some probation. There is literally nothing else that can go wrong for Bortlen. He is set up for his release and everything, but it is important to note that he is not testifying. His lawyer already spoke out and said himself that Bortlen is not testifying against Melly at all, and that's not the plan that they are building towards. So keep in mind that Bortlen is still refusing to snitch on his boy, YNW Melly. Now, although I made it seem like Bortlen is absolutely in the clear, that is not 100% the case. Like, say some DNA evidence shows up proving that he was involved with these murders and whatnot, that can and will be used against him in the court of law. So he could get resentenced to a life sentence if it comes to that. But regardless, right now it seems like he is completely in the clear, and most likely nothing else is going to come out of Bortlen in the YNW Melly case. But yeah, it's been an absolute clusterfuck these last few years, and it seems like finally we are working towards a resolution, which is crazy because I honestly did not expect it to start to actually come until like 2027. But apparently they are actually putting in some work and trying to end this case once and for all, which is good. All right, like just get it over with at this point. Melly's been rotting in there. Just tell him if he's staying for life or if he's not, and just, you know, let everything come to a natural resolution. But with that all being said, I do hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all did, like, comment, subscribe, do all of that. I'm going to keep a very close eye on the case, and although I may not talk about absolutely everything in the case, I am going to go over everything important. So make sure to subscribe, like, comment, do all of that, and y'all stay safe, stay notorious. Peace out.